We're looking at fall camp for Georgia Bulldogs. It's important. Many storylines you need to pay attention to because, Daniel, this just in. We're close to football. Pads
We're here.
Be popping. We're here. Next, Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Clint, what is up? How are you? Welcome
great,
to the
man.
Locked On Bulldogs podcast. How are you, listeners out there? Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for making it your first listen. Thanks to all the everyday folks that are here. They're everydayers. They're here every day. Sometimes we're not even here every day, Clint, but they are everydayers. They are here every day. They know who they are, and we really appreciate them. And I think a lot more of y'all need to really consider becoming everydayers as we get, because my man Clint said,
everydayer, we're here.
My man said football's close, which means that the content, not to toot our own horn, gets more important. Like it becomes significantly more meaningful. Not that the offseason is not meaningful.
Some news is different than other news.
That's right. And so you need to be making your plans accordingly. We'll be going to a 6-episode format during the season, as we do every year. We will be including the Saturday night reaction show, which is my favorite show of the year to record. We get to do about 15 of them a year, and they're fantastic. So we'll be adding that to the mix. So make plans accordingly. And today, Clint, we're talking about fall camp, because fall camp, this just in, opens next week.
Yeah,
some of y'all may be listening to this next week, which means fall camp opens this week. If it's, say, Monday morning and you're headed into the office and you're listening to this right now, fall camp opens next week, right at the beginning of August, and could not be more excited for this season, could not be more excited for this team. It's a bit of a different feel than we've had the last couple of years. Georgia's not coming off a national championship. Georgia's not coming off a trip to the college football playoff even. And so you heard Kirby Smart talk about it at SEC Media Days. It's a bit of a different vibe going into the season. I personally am so excited.
You know, Dan, I was thinking about that. We're going to get to the biggest storyline in fall camp. I'm talking myself into two realities for Georgia football season this year, Daniel.
Well, let's just lead up. This is a storyline headed into fall camp.
This is the storyline.
Segment one, go hit him with it.
This is what you should be looking at fall camp. The tone around Kirby and the rest of the players. There's been a lot of excitement of the best roster that Kirby's had, top to bottom, maybe not total top end talent, but from top to bottom all the way through. Very little holes in this team. By the way, somebody said the defensive line was a issue for Georgia this year, and Daniel, I couldn't disagree more with that.
I could not disagree with that person more.
Yeah. We think that is an exceptional depth and talent. I think as you listen to Kirby and you listen to these players, I truly believe there are two options to this season, and both of which I think leads us well into college football playoffs. Option one, we don't lose one game. We lose two games. We lose to Texas and Alabama. Both.
Yeah, he just can't help himself holding up those two fingers. He can't stop doing it. If you're watching on YouTube, he cannot stop doing it.
And I won't. People have tried to change us, and we can't be changed. I think we lose two games, Texas and Alabama, or we go undefeated regular season. I think undefeated regular season gets us into the SEC championship and coasts right through into the playoff, get that first round bye. I think we don't touch it. 2 losses. I think either to the first matchup of Alabama, Texas, or in the rematch in the SEC championship, because I think both those teams have a very, very good shot at making the SEC championship. But if that's the case, if we have 2 losses, I think the way that Kirby's talking, when he's saying there's a little different air, there's a little different feel, there's something going on, I think we either get back to the undefeated, this is what dominating all the way through, we face that adversity and we rally and we change to it. I don't think we lose one game anymore. I think it's undefeated or 2. And I think as you look at the fall camp and you look at guys responding, we're going to know pretty quick what Kirby thinks as well. He's going to start talking that talk real quick, Daniel. and we're going to know what he thinks about that. Very early on.
Urbanese will come into play. There will be some translation. Get your Google Translate out. There will be some translation necessary. We'll be here for it to provide you with that insight. I can promise you this, Clint. If this team picks up a couple losses, if this team at some point in the season is 4-2, okay?
Yep. See,
there won't be any panic in this. The veteran leadership on this roster is starting with Carson Beck, but carrying over to the defensive side of the ball as well, with guys obviously like Michael and Smile Mondin, and like the veteran leadership on this team, I think, is going to be such that whereas normally 4-2 as a Georgia fan, you toss the season. That's it. Season's over. Like, that's it. Let's literally start thinking about, what the basketball team's going to look like this year, because 4-2, the season is over. This year with a 12-team playoff, as you mentioned, that's not the case. And I think you're going to see that team be able to decide, are we going to throw it in and fold and crumble? Or are we going to rally and bring it together and go into the playoff again, maybe as like a 10 seed in the play? Like, And Clint, we could do a whole episode about this, Clint. But
go ahead, say it.
Okay. If you make the playoff, there are three options. The first one is you get a bye. Well, I love that. Sure. Because it's a win. That's what they called a bye is an automatic win, and you advance to the next round. So I love that. I care for that. I'm here for that. The second option is you don't get a bye. You host a home playoff game. Now, I think we all are much anticipating whenever year it comes. That first playoff game at Sanford Stadium, Clint. You're talking about things that are built different. Like, you want to talk about an environment that, I'm being serious, Georgia fans, that maybe none of us have ever seen in our lifetimes in Sanford Stadium.
True story.
There will never have been a bigger game played in Sanford Stadium than the first home playoff game played there. And that is categorically true.
Spectacle.
The third option, though, Clint, is you take the show on the road and you get to go into someone else's building and play a playoff game and potentially silence an entire stadium full of people. I don't know which one is more exciting to me. Obviously, it's better for Georgia to get the bye. It's better for Georgia to host the game. But as from a pure fan perspective, I think I could talk myself into any of those three options being the most exciting. If Georgia goes into this playoff as a 10 seed with 2 losses, and all of a sudden, one loss Florida State is hosting?
Yep. This is
in a little revenge tour. Florida State's hyping the revenge train. Mike Norvell's got all his players this time, and we're going to go to Tallahassee and play that game? Woo! You tell me.
Fantastic.
That's it's a storyline to watch in fall camp. What is Kirby's tone? I agree with you 100%. What's the general demeanor with which he talks about this team? We're going to learn not necessarily much about the team, but we're going to learn how he feels about the team early on in fall camp. We got more camp storylines coming up, but first, I want to talk to you about these.
These are back to eBay Motors. eBay Motors, millions of parts for your MVP, your ride or die. Whether you're eating exhausts, interior, exterior, performance, appearance, it doesn't matter. You get those mufflers. You want to sound loud. You want to be quiet. You want to get gas mileage. Whatever it is, maybe you just need to replace a headlight because you ran into a deer somewhere on some stupid backcountry road as you're leaving a 4th of July fireworks party in the nowhere tether region of Tennessee. Who knows? Maybe that's what happens to you.
It sounds like an autobiographical story, but it's more of a biographical story that Clint's
More
telling.
of biographical.
Yeah.
eBay Motors has you down, and they have a guaranteed fit. If you put your vehicle's make, model, year, all of that, eBay Motors guarantees the fit will be there. And if it doesn't, guess what? They're going to take care of you, your part, and your car. eBay Motors, keep your ride or die alive. Terms apply. Millions of parts for your MVP. Second thing we want to talk about, Daniel, as camp gets going, many storylines. The offensive influx of transfer talent at wide receiver and running back, offensive line continuity coming back. Some new faces on that offensive line. Carson Beck, Heisman hopeful. Defense needing to be upped its game to what we know they can be.
Significantly better.
Not what everybody else is accustomed to. I don't care about everybody else's standard. I really don't. I care about Kirby's standard and my standard for this defense. And it was not up to par last year, as much as I tried to convince myself that it was. Daniel, what else should we be looking for with all of those? What in that or somewhere else do we need to recognize as we go into fall camp?
Now I'm gonna tip the hand here. Okay. You're gonna see where the mindset's at. Okay. You're going to see that I'm beginning to talk myself into things already that I think I probably ought to just slow down.
I tip my hand with the first segment.
Yeah. I probably ought to maybe temper some expectations, play it safe, emotionally hedge. I should listen to my own advice is what I'm trying to tell you. But gosh darn it. If I'm not going to be paying particularly close attention to a young man by the name of Branson Robinson, Clint, because he has been showing me some things that are indicating to me that A, he might not be a human person, and B, he might be a lot closer to coming back to playing football for Georgia this fall than anyone could have possibly foreseen after his gruesome injury last year, Clint. Now he's not been involved. Like I don't expect at the beginning of fall camp we're going to see him involved. But if at some point during this camp you catch wind that Branson Robinson's in a full contact tackling drill, we're done. Start playing the Undertaker music. Carry Clemson out here on a body bag, because the Robinson backfield that you're going to be looking at with Trevor Etienne. Now,
oh my goodness,
you bring in these two enforcers, and I mean enforcers in the backfield in Roderick Robinson and Branson Robinson. You pair them with Trevor Etienne in this Mike Bobo offense, and the way that Georgia's going to be able to control the ball and move the ball on the ground will be second to, like, we will be going back to freshman year DeAndre Swift with Nick and Sony. That's the type of back. I'm not saying that you're not making one-to-one comparisons.
No, you're not.
I'm not making one-to-one like this guy is this guy and this guy is this guy. I'm just saying Georgia hadn't had three more talented backs in the backfield maybe ever in the history of the program than they did that year. You could be looking at a situation where you've got three absolutely dominant backs, and linebackers by the mid-third quarter are going to be waving the white flag, Clint, because when you sub out Roderick Robinson and you put in Branson Robinson, it's going from bad to worse if you're a defensive player. I am so excited about this kid's recovery and what we've seen out of him so far. And Clint, if he's back, I'm ready to talk myself into all manner of things for this Georgia offense because I've written him off for basically the first 3 quarters of the season. I'd written him off, and I'd said we're going to ride ETN and Robin and Roderick. But if Branson's back early,
here's the deal. Here's the deal. We don't do one-to-one comparisons. Each player is their own player. However, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you a story, and you tell me who it sounds like. Okay? You tell me who it sounds like.
He's not going to tell you. You just tell him.
Bursting onto the scene as a underclassman in a full backfield and plowing through the highest level of competition as if they are standing still. Okay. Secondly, physically imposing and terrifying to look at.
Second to none, no one in the country. There is no running back in the country as physically imposing as Branson Robinson, and it is not even a competition.
Thirdly, injury that's sidelined so that rehab and weights and health are focal.
Had a chance to just throw in the towel. Maybe football's not for me. Maybe I'll just rest, take it easy for a bit.
Fourth observation. Don't hear much from this man at all, even when he does exceptionally well.
You know why? Because there's no microphones. There's no microphones in the weight room, Clint. No. And so we didn't hear from him because there's no audio being taken where he's been.
I'm just here to say that the vibes share similarities to one Nicholas Chubb in what this and if he is 75% Nicholas Chubb this year, good golly, you won't be able to do Carson Beck with his full with all the weapons out there. Then comes to the line and just like, okay, well, y'all double teaming people. You took London out. Okay, cool. Hey, hey, come over here. Let's do a little zone to the right. I'm just gonna quick handoff. Trust, go get going. Let me bully these guys back.
Oh, it's 1-on-1 in the hole.
Sure.
Oh, okay. I like our chance. I like our chances of falling forward there.
I just think that if that's the case, if he is back, the 3 running backs plus Carson Beck, that in and of itself, those 3 running backs plus Carson Beck plus the offensive line plus the wide receivers plus Dylan Bell plus Landon Humphries plus Delp. Y'all, this might be just a video game-esque offense when all is said and done. And Robinson's going to be key to that. We're going to come back after this, talk one more interesting fall news that just broke. But first, this. And this, Daniel, is in fact FanDuel. I don't know if you understand, but right now, Daniel, you and I have one sport that we're focused on right now because sports is not sportsing like we want to.
Laser beam
onto college football because everything else is kind of just non-existent. It's not
in the background. You could bet on the men's 100-meter if you wanted to.
I mean, there's some rugby out there. I could get into some action.
Go for it.
Rugby. That's great.
But you could also bet on season win totals.
There we go.
So why would you do any? Why would you?
Right now, FanDuel is giving us bonus and everything that we need right now every single day. Just hop on the phone, hop on the app, hop on to FanDuel.com, get over there, make the bets that we know and we want to see, and that is exactly what we do. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On Podcast and Locked On Bulldogs. We love them. Get them over there right now. Sports continue to sports with FanDuel.
I will say this, Clint, before we jump into our third storyline here. When's that season win totals episode going to be coming out? We got to it's coming. The first locks of the year. You understand?
I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know right now. I got 2 teams already on the hook for the over, and I am hammering it.
He's got them on there. He's making a list. We are both compiling our lists. I'm going to say this. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you exactly when it's going to come out. the Thursday before
week 0.
The Thursday before week 0. No, yeah. So the 2 Thursdays before week 0. Because the Thursday before week 0 is going to be week 0 locks, Clint. Like we're going to be talking about week 0 locks. The Thursday before that will be the season win total locks. We're starting to fill out the calendar. Point number 2, just one last point on Branson. If he comes back and let's say he's 90%,
sure.
Right? Carson Beck comes back and he's 90%. Ernest Green comes back from an injury and he's 90%. There's some concern there because you don't want to be playing 90%. You want to be able to go full go. Like that's not how you play football. You don't play football at 90%.
What does Branson get to do?
But Branson now plugs himself in as the 3rd string running back in this offense.
Do you
he has 6 carries a game, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's going to be great with me. You understand? Like, I'm not trying to get 20, 25 carries out of this kid.
No.
Give him a few touches early in the year. Let him take a hit. Let him get those legs back up underneath him. Let him gain some confidence because as we move forward in the season, the cream is going to rise to the top. And I couldn't be more excited about it. All right. The third storyline, Clint, it's not a great one.
It's not a great one. News broke this last week that a wide receiver.
We're recording.
Well, you said earlier they may be listening on Monday, Daniel.
That's true. Who knows when this news broke? They could be listening 6 months from now.
The news broke on the 4th week in July. That's
the year of our Lord 2024.
That Rah has decided that he does not like good things and he doesn't enjoy playing for the University of Georgia. Now, no news is broken on what Kirby's punishment is going to be, but he is facing serious accusations again for altercations within a family dispute that is happening. Now, again, Locked On Bulldogs and Locked On Podcast, we hold off until all information is there, but the information we do have, which we have information.
There is information.
This is the second time Rah has handled something
terrible.
Like this.
It's not.
It's awful.
It's not great. It's terrible.
It's not great.
It's awful.
He is likely done, Daniel.
I can't imagine a scenario in which he plays for Georgia again.
Our speculation is that Kirby Smart says, "Thank you. Your talents are no longer needed here.
Yeah,
go get yourself counseling. Go get yourself help. Go get yourself a therapist right now because you need it."
If you can't imagine a scenario in which he doesn't play for Georgia, in which he plays for Georgia ever again. I also struggle to imagine a scenario in which he doesn't end up playing for Auburn at some point.
He will.
That's the level that we're at right now.
You either go get therapy, or you learn what a burner phone is. These are the two.
Well, if you go to Auburn, it's a good Christian man there. He'll pray for you. And so like that will be good. We're making light of a situation. It's not a good situation. It's not a good look for the University of Georgia. It's not a good look for any of us who cheer for the University of Georgia. No. It's 6 felony counts. There's children involved. Like, again, all the information is not out. I cannot imagine. Again, at time of this recording, I can't imagine him playing for Georgia again. I certainly,
and nor should he.
Don't pencil him in to your players to watch in fall camp. In terms of football, Rah is a good football player and was going to be a factor in the wide receiver rotation this year. It is a deep position group, and that is to Georgia's schematic advantage in terms of thinking about how to replace his talent. But it will be a loss for the football team. Yep. But I can't imagine it going any other way than him being
just
dismissed.
PSA right now. If you are struggling with anything, anger, impatience, if you think that you have the right to treat a family member in any particular way that is not kind, get yourself some help. That's what Rah needs. We need to see this young man change it around in a hurry. We hope that he is able to do so. And if he does, we'll be cheering for him all along the way. If he needs to serve some time, he's going to serve some time for that. Kirby, again, just get ready, all of you UGA fans and all of you UGA haters.
Does he handle discipline externally? How does he handle the discipline? Is it externally, Clint?
You won't hear.
Is it external? Probably external.
Make an announcement. And when he does this well,
he will be asked about it though at his fall camp introductory press conference.
When he does this well, and a coach who is struggling with substance abuse goes on to lead a productive, healthy life advocating against substance abuse and starting nonprofits. And he was able to do so because Kirby allowed him to go get the help that he needed in cover, seclusion, and right his ship. We all cheer for him. Isn't that what we all want? We all want people to change the course. And if Kirby's doing things to allow that to happen, instead of the punitive punishment that all of you people want in your, not in your life, in other people's lives, but not certainly in your life.
Never in your life.
No. Never in your life. No, for them, Kirby's not going to answer it. So chill out. Rah likely off the team. We'll see. We'll wait. We'll update you as we get news and as news comes out. He is Daniel. I am Clint. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. We'll see you guys next time. We talk about rule changes and the implementation of technology that only advances Kirby's system. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.